Hey everyone, what's up? Got another game today. I've been playing a couple of just like reactionary games on
Hey everyone,
too.
what's up?
So got another game today. Get used to like playing real games after a while, and then try to level up this account as well. But it'll probably take a while. But either way, these teaching games are kind of fun, and they do actually help me improve as well because I make very obvious errors in these games. Like I find one of my problems is like when I play even games, is like I already have a game won, but then I try to go for like more of an advantage, which is something I tell which is really something I tell like people not to do in my teaching games. So I've got to like not do that either. It's very, it's actually really hard to. It's actually quite hard to get away from that, though. I have to say, I do have to say it's very hard to get away from that. This is the same Joseki. That's strange. Why would you do that? Doesn't make too much sense to me. I almost want to do this. But I'm gonna guess this is better. Nah, you know what? I might have. Nah, it's too much to lose. Either P17 or Q18. P17 might have actually been better. I'm gonna go crawl along this, and then if he still answers this, I'm going somewhere else. It's not worth crawling along that. You can always kind of you can always come out here, but I don't think it's actually worth it right now. Because if he does this on this side, I can just come out. So I am actually going to take point and play this move here. Part of the reason to do this is to build up influence and build up territory on that side. But if he does this, I can just connect and I'm alive. So I don't really need to do anything about that. I'm also not a huge fan of that particular move. This does give me Sente on point. I would definitely pressure the stone. Yeah, that's probably, I should have probably just crawled out one more. I think I pretty much have to connect here. This is a bad thing for me. See, I really want to get one of these extensions. Doesn't actually matter which side I extend on, but I do want to get one of these extensions. I, however, cannot get, I think this is fine. Just connect over here. This almost forces him to take the 2 extension here. This definitely almost forces him to take the 2 extension here. Okay, yeah, I'm going to take the 2 extension over here. The thing about what he's doing is I don't have any real weak groups. So, oh, that's a mistake. You have to do this. This has value, but not nearly as much as coming up this way. And this just lets me kill that, so I mean, this might look like he's letting me solidify all this territory, but this territory is definitely not all solidified yet. And I don't really have to answer that. I can just come out here. And stuff like this is actually pretty hard to deal with for him. You're seeing now, like, how little, really like how little territory he's actually gaining from this. Remember, he gave up a lot of this territory here to get this. I don't think I'm actually ahead at this point, though. Because I made some pretty bad mistakes as well. Yeah, I definitely made some pretty bad mistakes here. None of my groups are really under threat, though, so I think I'm okay. I don't want to make this invasion here. Because that would actually set this up. I could Hane here to take this away. But I think this actually might be the better move. And this territory down here isn't certain yet either. That I'm not going to answer. If he doesn't answer, I'm going to Hane here and do this. And if he doesn't, like, the clamp actually becomes a move. I mean, I can just do this. It's not a big deal. And if he chokes here, I can just connect this one. So he might actually need to respond, because if I clamp here, then he's definitely got problems. I mean, I don't really care if he does that. That's really not an issue for me. Guess I'll take it. He spent a lot of extra moves here, and I'm not really sure if it's really worth it. Because I doubt he can kill me here. Okay, I'm just gonna like take this, because that's gonna be like a serious problem, and I don't think he can kill me here. There's a huge problem with him doing this. He's just sacrificing way too many points. I shouldn't have done that though. He's sacrificing way too many points here. The thickness here isn't really going to achieve anything. He does put pressure on those, though. I will give you that. But he's actually... thing is, like, I think he's just given up a little too much in terms of like territory and stuff. If Atari's here, I think I just fly out here. It's fine. My eye shape isn't, to be fair, my eye shape isn't that great, but I'm pretty sure I can live. And he doesn't really have any territory, because I've pretty much destroyed all his territory. He's going to have several problems here trying to kill me. You still have to close that. Okay. Huh. Guys, here is a little bit trickier than I thought, definitely. Okay, got a couple of choices here. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. And just go maybe for a fight here. I think he made a mistake here. Maybe not. We'll see. It's actually become a lot more trouble than I thought. So I had originally wanted that's a weird move. It's a really weird move. Oh, no, it's not. Is it? I can't really kill him here. That's the problem. Fighting with that entire thing is just not smart. If I do this, he can live. Which is not good. Might be my only way, though. We'll see.
Challenge received.
Yeah, definitely screwed up in this game. Definitely screwed up on this game. Probably went too greedy over here. But I think he might have screwed up this. And I might not have enough liberties. Oh shit, that's like, that's actually co-live, so I cannot, that's actually co-live, so I can't actually do anything about that. I don't think there's any way, real way I can actually win this, because I doubt he's going to mess up here. He's done a really good job of killing. Yeah, I screwed up. So I actually lost this.
Black wins.
So I don't really lose these games all that often. I don't really lose the games all that often, but let's actually go back and review this game. I got some big advantages, but I think I got over greedy. I think that was like one of the problems. I think this is okay for the most part. Probably let him get a little too much advantage there, but you know, the thing is, like, this corner here I don't really like, because I don't like when he does that. Oh yeah, I should just do that, I guess. I guess, like, I'm definitely more used to this kind of Joseki rather than the other type. So the thing is, this definitely is better. I gotta remember that. Like, remember, like, in the Joseki, generally, like, a doubles tiger's mouth is going to be better than just a connection by a long shot. So I'm gonna go here. He does this, and this is it's pretty even for the most part. I get this extension. He does that. Come up here, he does this. The thing is, he's still gaining on me bit by bit, even so he's actually playing this game very intricately, very well. I was, like, never really ahead the entire game. And now, like, this particular attack, like, at this point, these two are actually in danger, and this particular attack is pretty bad. He played this very, very well. Oh yeah, co-live is just my way of saying Seki. Because the thing is, like, this doesn't really have a great way to live or for eyes. I probably could have extended here. But this is another one of those games where black doesn't really make any mistakes. and he extends his lead bit by bit. I mean, the thing is, like, usually when I do these games, like usually when I actually do these games, I'm looking for. Usually when I do these games, I'm looking for like you know, like my opponent to make mistakes. But this one, like, he doesn't make any. Like, the thing is, like, in the course of this whole game, he doesn't really make any mistakes. Like, he doesn't really. The thing is, he doesn't, like, by the AI standards, he doesn't actually make moves that lose any points. If you look on the counter here, and it actually matches up with the AI pretty well. So I'm not really sure if he's making AI, if he's just using the AI against me, or he's actually playing against me, because like you can see here, like, where I actually make mistakes. Like, this is something that I should have known, but I made that mistake because it's a different sequence than what I usually do. So I lost some points there. That's a pretty good move. I'm going to invade here. And yes, this is the best move because this is actually Sente. But he plays the corner there, which is fine as well. And then, like, that is like, I would have played, if I was me, I would have played this first before anything else, because I know that white has to actually answer. But yeah, then he plays the sequence very well, like this. That's not really a move that I see people do all that much. I probably would have done this myself, but this is actually okay. It's not like that bad for white to respond to. And then coming over top when you already have this is going to be black's advantage because it limits white's expansion in that area. So I'm going to do this, obviously, to settle this over here. I still think this is better. It kind of like expands over here. It does let white do this, but I think it expands over here. So I actually think that's more important. This isn't too bad though. I'm going to come up, obviously, just to break his shape. Then that was probably an overextension. I probably should have just done this. But that actually lets him do something like this and get the territory over there. So like building up this wall was actually pretty good. He actually played it really, really well. He actually played this extremely well. And the thing is, like, I know over here, this particular move, it's kind of hard for, it is sort of hard for, like, black to answer in, like, any, like, decently meaningful way here. So this is actually a really good killing sequence. He essentially made, this is a really good killing sequence. He actually made a lot of really good moves. Like, I know, like, this group was a little bit in danger here, but I mean, I probably should have done this. This is definitely a better eye shape, but by this time I was already way behind. This is actually a better eye shape than what I did here. And I should have definitely done this, but this group is in a little bit of danger because, like, black is so thick out here. This is just a lot of really good killing moves by him. He played the sequence pretty perfectly. I tried to get a lot of stuff out, but he did actually play the sequence, like, very, very well in terms of killing. I probably did make some kind of mistakes down here, but at this time this group was already dead. So I think, I mean, like, this game was pretty much lost from the beginning. He just slowly accrued advantages, and he never really lost any points on any of his moves. So, like, when I do see a game like that, I either think, like, he's just a much stronger player, or he's using the AI. One of the two. Because, like, I've played a lot of 5Qs, and they don't, like, the thing is, the way I know that you're a stronger player, or if you're just playing with the AI, the way I actually know that is that, like, when I go back and review, like, if you're making, like, a huge amount of mistakes all over the board, which is what I expect from, like, SDK players, and even, like, players at my level, I expect, like, us to make, like, plenty of mistakes here. When I go back and review with a point counter and I don't really see any mistakes, that's when I get a little suspicious. Now, I don't mind people playing against me with the AI, but it kind of, like, kills, like, the teaching opportunity, because the AI plays pretty much perfectly, more or less. And the thing is, like, if you beat me with the AI, it doesn't really mean anything, because I can't beat the AI. Like, I play against the AI all the time. It's like a but I play with the AI at like a 6 point handicap. So the thing is like if you make one or two really if you make a couple of really good moves and get a big advantage, I don't really get suspicious of that because like I know people learn like I know like lower ranked players learn actually a lot of moves on their own. But if you make like pretty you play like pretty much a perfect game, that's when I'm like he either has like a teacher that's like teaching him how to play, or he is like playing with an AI with some AI help. Because like this game particularly, like if I play against like a 5Q or like a 1 dan or a 2 dan or a 3 dan or 4 dan even, like you'll see like each side make a lot of mistakes that actually cost him a lot of points at like 5 or 6 points at least. There wasn't really like any one particular move that he actually did. Like if you look at it, he might have lost point 0.2 points, but the thing is like that's variability in different AI programs. But like pretty much he just gained points all the way through without any losing anything. So yeah, if you want to play really well, I mean, you should learn from Black's play because that's a much higher level of play than what I'm doing right now. I make a lot of mistakes, and he's basically just taking advantage of the mistakes I'm making or the Josekis that I'm not really that familiar with, and he's actually gaining a huge advantage. Was there advantage taking one guy in Gote? What do you mean the one eye in Gote? Well, no, there's no advantage in taking one eye in Gote because I still have to find another eye. I still definitely have to find another eye. So I needed at least one eye in Sente. And also, I want to explain this down here. The thing is, if this is Seki, right? This is actually Seki. Because if I do this, like, either of us can take the other one. I have to do this or do this, and if he takes like that, then he's alive. And plus, like, even if he isn't, he can just do this and then come here. And I'm pretty sure, like, he has way more liberties than me anyway, so he would actually win the fight anyway. So that was pretty much a lost cause. I will play one more game. So the thing is, if you want to play against me on one of these games, I definitely like would suggest you don't use like any AI help because I can't beat the AI. I honestly cannot beat the AI. And the thing is, like, it becomes pretty obvious either you have a teacher behind you or you're actually playing with the AI, especially with the AI, like because if you play with the AI, like every single move you make, like you won't lose too many points. And even when I watch like a 9 dan pro play, now I've played one or two of these guys that have used the AI behind them.
Game started.
Even if when I watch a 9 dan pro play, like he will make mistakes that loses him more than 5 points. When I see like you don't make any moves that lose you more than 1 or 2 points, I am almost sure you're playing with a computer behind you. Because like only the AI can actually do something like that, and it's very very frustrating playing against it. It's actually really really frustrating playing against the AI. Like here, I know I like here like the AI generally would never tell you to do this move because even though it's not like a serious loss, it's not a serious loss, but it is significantly worse than like a knight's move or a one space jump. See, like I can tell that he's not playing with the AI because this is a huge loss for Black. So the thing is, like, Black's not really gaining much. You're gaining a couple of points down here. You're giving up way too much over here, and it's Sente for me. So I invaded, and I still get Sente, and I get this move out here. Plus, like, I in general just get more stuff than you do. So that is a big win for me. Sente and Gote early on. Sente and Gote early on in the game is very, very important. See, that's just bad because I can cut. There's a reason for this Joseki. Like, if your opponent cuts here, or if he clamps later, like you're kind of screwed. So it's really not something you want to do. If I cut here, there's really not much Black can do. He can only retreat one of these sides, and because he can only retreat one of those sides, he's gonna have to give up the other side. So like the Josekis exist for like a reason. Like this particular Joseki, like Black gets influence and White gets territory. or the way the Joseki is supposed to work, obviously. This, when you play like this, black really doesn't get anything, and I don't even really have to answer this. I don't think I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and get these points, I guess, because it's actually fairly large. You can't, I mean, you could look at threatening this group, but this kind of group is really hard to threaten. This kind of group is actually really, really hard to threaten. Like, I don't think I'm even going to answer that because I think I'd rather do something like this and just secure this group. And you still have this problem right here, even though this is not, this stone isn't worth much because I already have this stone. Is the stream fuzzy? It shouldn't be fuzzy. I'm streaming in HD, so it should not be fuzzy. I think I'm just gonna do this. I don't know if that's a good move though. That's not a good move. You should definitely Hane this. You should 100% Hane this. And even here, you should definitely Hane that. You are giving a lot of territory down here, but you can make use of the influence up here, but I did gain a lot of territory down there. The thing is, like, you don't want to give up too much territory in terms of influence. If he connects here, he still has 2 cutting points on both sides. So his influence isn't really complete. And he's already given me this entire corner. So there's a price to pay for, like, gaining influence. Sometimes that price is a little too high. That's probably the right connection. But the thing is, you do leave me, you kind of do leave me the option to invade down here, though. That's the right side pincer, by the way, because I can extend 2 that way and only 1 this way. But because, like, J2 is open, there's not that much territory down here. I could even play K3 if I really wanted to. Okay, he plays J2 first, but that's fine. I can just do this. This is... I generally don't tell people to actually do this move. Because it gets rid of a lot of variability in the corner. You should definitely Hane that. You would 100% Hane that. Because if you Hane that, all I can do is go backwards. This is not good. I have 3 extension here, so I can just come up. And if you let me get the corner Hane, like, it's definitely very bad for you. But at this point, like, he kind of has to answer this. So I'm probably going to get the corner Hane regardless. And this group's entirely settled. I think he's just giving up too many points. And the influence is going to be not completely effectual on this. Even if he Hanes here right now, like, S6 is not, like, a thing because I have 3 liberties now. So it's... Like, you can tell, like, you can actually tell, like, a very, very stark difference between this game and the last game. Because, like, this game, like, you know, last game, like, the guy's, like, 3 stones stronger, but that doesn't mean he's not going to make any mistakes. This game, like, you know, these are the expected mistakes of, like, a SDK player. And, you know, even when you review this game, like, you guys always see, like, the mistakes that I make that cost me a lot of points, too. When I review a game, that's really bad. When I review a game of, like, an SDK or even lower Dan or even upper Dan player, and I don't see that's horrible. And I don't see, like, one single move that cost him like a huge amount of points. At that point, like, I'm gonna have to say, like, they're probably just using the AI because that's really the only way to do that. So the thing is, like, he's trying to solidify his outer influence, but at the sacrifice of all this here, this is like a 30-point sacrifice. So he's gonna have to get a lot. He is going to have to get a whole lot in order to make up for the corner that he just sacrificed. And I don't think he can get it. because I don't have any weak groups for him to attack. I'm always going to do that. And then when he extends, I'm going to do else. So like he's going for this particular territory right here. But there are a lot of problems to this though. Like, I mean, I'm going to do this first. Just to more solidify my territory down here. And if he doesn't answer, I can always come up. Yeah, I'm going to come up. This is actually much bigger. I mean, he can't really do anything to this down here. Like, this down here is fine. And I already have these three over here, so there's very little territory to be had here. Oh, you can't do that, man. I'm not going to answer that. And the problem is, if I do, you have serious problems. Like, you literally have to fight the Ko with me. And I can just connect the second one. Like, the Ko isn't really a big deal for me, but it's a big deal for him. So what you do here is, I'm going to do this, because it will get me a little bit more territory down here. Plus, if he does this, this seals this part in. So you're seeing like a lot of problems from his side right now on trying to solidify the center territory while giving up like pretty much the entire side. Plus, like, you know, like I said, I can always fight this Ko. So you're not very solidified. You're definitely not very solidified in the center. I think the best thing to do there was actually to cut. I'm just going to do this. Like, this is not smart. He can still cut me, and that would be pretty bad. Like, once again, you are sacrificing... You are sacrificing way too many points here to do this. But I can't actually do that. So I'm going to actually do this right now because there's a cut right there that I don't like. Like I said, this seems like a lot of points, but until you consider that I have this move, and I can just fight the Ko at any time. If he doesn't answer, I am definitely going to take... I'm definitely going to take these 3 stones. And I believe that... I don't know if I can take those 3 stones, actually. No, I actually can't. Never mind. That was probably a bad move by me. Like, if I were him, I would probably take this stone right now. That's not a very good move. That's okay. It's not great. I mean, there's very little, like... there's not that much territory there, so I'm going to just jump up, I believe, because that's actually pretty big. I'm going to just jump up because I've already got most of the side. This corner here and like all this corner here. He has some points there, but once again, this is a big problem for him. I don't have to answer that, so I'm going to keep jumping. Even if he takes another one, I'm not going to answer that because he can't double Atari. Let's go back and review this game. This game has a lot more learning opportunities than the other game because the other game was just me making mistakes and like the other side not making any mistakes. Very hard to review something like that. But when both sides are making mistakes, then that's when you get the review. I see a lot of SDKs mess up here. You either connect here or you come here. You have to repair this. You have to repair this side. That side isn't really worth all that much. So you let me do this, and then you let me get the Sente, so I do this. So like, you're not getting too much here. You let me get a lot of this side and the corner there. So definitely a pretty big loss for black. You can't do that. This has to be fixed. And essentially, I would probably just play it this way. Or actually, no, I would take the lower extension. Generally, when there's a lot of stones already on the board, I actually prefer this Joseki for white. But letting me cut there is just not really a good idea. Because I mean, like, you make yourself really weak, and you're giving me a lot of territory. I might have been better off Haneing here, definitely, but I don't know. I'm just gonna settle this group over here. That was a bad move. Like, that lets him build up too much territory. White could have easily done something like this, and as a matter of fact, I should have done that because like that threatens his one stone, and it leaves me options for a nice extension over here, which would actually reduce his influence as well. So this was a bad move by me. That's a bad move by him. This is the obvious move. That's like that's generally what you're supposed to do with that. That's awful. That's also a bad move by me. I probably should have just at this point, like, I don't know what I should have done. Maybe I should have invaded. I'm not really sure, but following him through and letting him get the upper influence is not a great idea by me. Although it's not that big of a loss because I got a lot of points here, and this influence, like, I still have this move. I still have this move later on. So you can see, like, I can get a lot here, and he doesn't have that much here. He does have a little bit of influence, but I'm not too afraid of that. So yeah, I did make a mistake here. Now I'm going to invade here. That's a good force. I'm going to go here. I don't know if I would have done that right away. I mean, like, this might have been better, honestly. Something like this to protect the corner might have been better. He does this. I'm going to go under. So you have two options here. You can let me come down this way, which is not right. But you should have actually, he should have done this. Because that secures the corner for him, and I'm not completely settled. But like, these are big mistakes. And you generally never play this move unless you absolutely have to. Especially when I get the 3 extension, because this, like, no longer, like, even if you Hane here, like, this is no longer a thing because I have 3 liberties now. So there's no threat there anymore. This is a huge, huge mistake. You definitely need to extend out. You cannot let someone Hane this. You cannot let someone Atari this. That completely disrupts your shape, and you don't really have a good way to answer this, you know? Like, this shape is not great this is not good for black. This kind of shape. Plus, I still have the Hane down here. So you definitely need to extend this. That's just like kind of like a shape thing. I take this, he does this, I'm gonna just go ahead and capture it. This is probably not the best way to capture it. This is a much better way to capture those stones. Yeah, that's just a much better way to capture the stones, straight up. So yeah, I made a mistake there. I didn't really watch that. Go here. This is pretty big, but I think I should have just done this right away. Turned out okay for me. That, I don't know, like, letting me come up here, I feel like I would have answered this. Letting me go up this way, I think that's a... See, I don't like that. Like, if you're going to do this, you're probably going to do this just to solidify the outside, because this ko is very light for me, but it's very heavy for black, so you wouldn't do that. So I'm just going to come here, because this move is very important. If I let black seal this in, he's got potential for this entire side. So I think if it were me, I might have just cut. The black doesn't really have a good way to deal with this cut. He can do this, but then, you know, you have like you actually have a ton of potential this way. Like, you have a lot of potential for territory this way. Yeah, you gave up a lot of points, but you're kind of already in a losing position right now. So you would just try to get as many points here as possible if you're black. So I would have definitely just cut if I was black. I might have still cut here. Well, no, because I can just do this, I guess. But definitely needed to do that. I don't think he needed to do this. I think here you just, like, come over. You either fix this, which is actually could be or you do this. Because white can't really do that. White can't really do this. Like, you can just do this. The 2 stones aren't that important. You're just, white doesn't really get much out of this. So he didn't need to fix that. So like I think he should have just come up here and try to get all of this territory, because that's really the only way he's going to win. He's not going to be able to, because there's like all these problems in here, and I can probably just come out this way. So you would have to like settle for probably what's in here, which, and plus with this issue, like I don't think you have enough points you wouldn't have enough points to actually win on here, because you've given up so much of the side territory. But either way, this is a pretty big mistake. So I'm gonna jump up here. Like, I think this AI probably just wants me to go ahead and do this, because that's like huge. I'm gonna jump up here. He's gonna take this. I'm gonna keep jumping, and that's when he resigns. So like, if he takes this, I'm just gonna keep jumping because he can't come here. And if he goes down here, I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do that. So there's no, and if he does this, I'm just gonna either take this back or just connect here. So there's no way he can actually rescue those. And without, like, with me jumping these 2, there's very little way for black to actually get the points he needs to win. So like, this is another, like, this is a bad middle enclosure with a big serious flaw right here. So this is not well played by me at all, the sequence here. But you know, like, you gave up too much on the side, and your middle enclosure just isn't thick enough right now. All right, that's going to be the lesson for now. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you, and have a nice day.